It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2012 Governor's Award for Quality and Productivity ceremony. In 1988, the Governor's Award for Quality and Productivity was created to recognize the accomplishments of teams of state employees for service excellence, efficiency, innovation, technology, process improvement, and employee development in Missouri state government. This unique program has the potential to recognize state employee accomplishments in the following categories: customer service, efficiency and process improvement, innovation, technology and government, and the Pinnacle Award. The Pinnacle Award is a pretty new category that can be used by the selection committee to recognize a nominated team that, in the opinion of the committee, clearly encompasses multiple award categories in a manner that exemplifies the spirit of the Governor's Award or exceeds all other nominations. And this year, we have a Pinnacle Award winner, so it's a good time to come. Today, we gather to recognize teams of state employees from 4 of these categories. Each winning team has demonstrated and met strict requirements of effectiveness, responsiveness, and efficiency of such quality as to define their project as a model of excellence with proven documentation of measured results from Missouri state government and Missouri citizens. You know, it's our privilege to have Acting Commissioner of Administration Doug Nelson with us to present an award to each winning team member. Commissioner, your participation in today's award presentation demonstrates your commitment to improve quality and efficiency in government service and your high regard and appreciation for state employees who make those improvements possible. Please join me in welcoming the Acting Commissioner of Administration, Doug Nelson.
Good afternoon. Today I have the privilege of congratulating the 4 teams of dedicated state employees who've worked so hard to improve the effectiveness, efficiency, and quality of the work that they do and the products they provide our citizens here in the state of Missouri. I firmly believe that Missouri should provide the best quality of service to its citizens, and we as public servants take that responsibility very seriously. And I first want to congratulate all 25 teams and, frankly, the directors and the departments that nominated them for recognizing their effort. In today's day and age, it seems like with technology and with demands, state government is put on to provide services quicker, more efficiently, faster, and it presents challenges, but also it presents opportunities. And I think the 4 teams that won today are going to be recognized today show that in great attribute. So it is my privilege to be involved with this prestigious award, and it really, the effort of the people comes at no accident. It really results from you having a deep appreciation of what you do and who you do it for. And it's a commitment that you have to provide the best service to the citizens of the state. And for that, on behalf of the governor, on behalf of the Office of Administration, I want to express my appreciation. Each award-winning team member should take pride in what they've done and in the company that you work with and the people you work for. Each team represented here today has made a significant positive contribution to the state, and it is my pleasure to personally present an award to each winning department director and each team member in appreciation. On behalf of the state of Missouri, thank you for your work.
This year, the first award category is Efficiency and Process Improvement. Our winner is the State Parks Youth Corps program team with team members representing the Department of Natural Resources and the Department of Economic Development. We congratulate Department of Natural Resources Director Sarah Pauley and Acting Director of the Department of Economic Development, Chris Piper. To tell us about the team's accomplishment and introduce the team's members, please welcome Bill Bryan, Director of State Parks with the Department of Natural Resources, and Julie Gibson, Director for the Division of Workforce Development within the Department of Economic Development.
Well, I just want to say a couple of words. Spicy was truly a team effort from the very beginning. It was the governor's vision and leadership that brought us all together, our state agencies that had never collaborated before between the Department of Natural Resources and Economic Development, specifically the parks folks and the workforce development folks. And we came together to work within, at the time, a funding program with federal requirements that Bill and his team had never seen before, never understood. But we had to be efficient because this program was announced in January with the Governor's State of the State speech in 2010. and we were taking our first applications by the end of February that same year. So the governor announced Spicy. We came together, we met weekly, we were on the phone daily, our staffs worked very hard together, and we had joint ownership from the very beginning. There was no turf, there was no concerns about who did what and who was going to get credit for what. We knew that our success rested in our ability to work together and to pull this off. I want to say that we wouldn't have realized our efficiency without the partnership with the local workforce investment boards around the state. We have 14 of them that brought together their experience and success in working with youth employment programs, and they're going to be recognized today along with us. Their impact, and the impact that I want to talk a second about, is just the impact on the youth. Youth like young man Derek Saffel, who was from the South Central region, who was attending the forestry program at Three Rivers Community College, and during the summer enrolled in the State Parks Youth Corps at Lake Wapapello. As a result of his hard work, he was hired at Ozark National Scenic Riverways for the remainder of the summer as a biological science technician. Derek has now completed his associate's degree in forestry and has decided to continue with his education and get his biology degree. He's since been hired by the Missouri Department of Conservation at Peck Ranch Conservation Area and is working approximately 32 hours a week and attending college full-time. And that's the kind of success, that's the kind of impact that Governor Nixon saw when he had the vision for the State Parks Youth Corps. Bill is going to tell you about the impact on the parks and the improvements that have been made there, but I want to tell you about the youth. For the 3 years we've had the program, we've had over 9,131 kids apply to be part of the program. 2,077 of them participated. They put in approximately 482,281 hours with a payroll of wages of $3.5 million over the last 3 years, and that's pretty amazing. Spicy has much in common with the Civilian Conservation Corps, established in 1933 by President Roosevelt, a program that employed young people similarly rebuilding our parks. Governor Nixon summed it up best, though, and I'm going to kind of quote from a dinner we all had with him celebrating our first year, and he said this: "For many youth, the summer opened a whole new chapter in their lives, a first job, a first paycheck, and a first boss. Just like with the Civilian Conservation Corps, the greatest benefit of Spicy would be in the changes in the workers, not just in the parks." So with that, I'll turn it over to Bill to talk about the impact on the parks and the great things that the youth were able to contribute. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Julie. And I want to thank our friends with the workforce investment boards and in the department, because we really were novices when this started, and without their patience and helping us learn how the program worked, we wouldn't have been able to achieve the successes that we have achieved. This was a great thing, a real shot in the arm for all of our parks. We've had Youth Corps workers in all of our state parks and historic sites in every corner of Missouri, doing projects, everything from improving over 600 miles of trail. We re-roofed about 50 buildings. We've painted, countless gallons of paint have been spilled, but many more gallons have been applied to structures throughout the state to buff them up and make them even better for our visitors. So a lot of great work has been done and benefits as well intangibly to our staff. We face the same challenge that a lot of state agencies do, and that we have a large number of employees who are looking at retirement in the coming years. And so we've had an opportunity to bring young people in, help them learn about those basic job skills of doing their best and working well with others, but also to learn about working in the outdoors, working in our cultural sites, and examine some new career paths that they may never have considered before. So it's been a thing that's a shot in the arm for the parks themselves, for our visitors, for our employees, and then as Governor Nixon noted, and as another great leader before him noted, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, that the things that the CCC achieved, like those of the State Park Youth Corps, they were great in themselves, but what was really important was the difference it made in the lives of young men and women. And so we're very proud to have been part of the State Park Youth Corps and look forward to what the future holds. Thank you.
So now we're going to read off the names of the people who are accepting. Tracy Albertson, Linda Studer, Alice Prince, Jason Jones, June Odell, Melissa Robbins, Jan Vaughn, of course, Bill and myself, Suzanne Harris, David Kelly, Dan Page, Connie Schmidt, Joycelyn Hostetler, Suzanne Richards, Bob Lee, Miranda Brummett, Shelley Penn, Amy Hastings, Jennifer Sigg, and last but not least, Melissa Wohlkamp. All right. Okay. Okay. Let Chris come stand by me. Chris Peepers.
Chris and Julie, on behalf of your efforts for the state, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Doug.
Congratulations. Sir and Bill, on behalf of the governor and the state of Missouri, thank you for your efforts every day.
If you would like to wait, and then if you guys just stay up here, if you guys want to move to this side, next to the left or Doug, just stand there and you can shake hands.
Thank you so much for your efforts. Thank you. It's a great program. Thank you so much. Great program.
Hey, congrats, thank you.
The next award category is for innovation. This year's winner is the Missouri Storm Aware Team with team members representing the Department of Public Safety and the Office of Administration. We congratulate the agency directors, Jerry Lee and Doug Nelson. To tell us about the team's accomplishment and introduce us to team members, please welcome Jerry Lee, Director of the Department of Public Safety.
Good afternoon. I would first want to thank Governor Nixon and the committee for recognizing the Storm Aware Project in the innovation category. We are honored to receive this prestigious award. The project truly was a joint effort between the Department of Public Safety and the ITSD team from the Office of Administration. And for that reason, I would like to thank Commissioner Doug Nelson for the OA's outstanding assistance and contributions. The idea behind Storm Aware website was to advance the way we in public safety and emergency management communicate to the public the safety steps that should be taken for the protection from tornadoes and severe weather. When DPS went to OA seeking technical and design support, the OA team, recognizing the importance of the project, enthusiastically embraced the idea. Similarly, we went to the St. Louis Forecast Office of the National Weather Service, and they were an important contributor to Storm Aware. All of the state employees involved in this project were creative, and they worked very hard so that the Storm Aware would be up and running for the severe weather season this past spring. Despite the long hours, they continued their regular duties, and Storm Aware was accomplished without any additional staffing for assistance from any vendors or grants or any additional funding. The effort paid off with a very user-friendly website that has been linked by local emergency managers, by schools, safety agencies, and the media across Missouri. In just 7 months, storm safety videos have been viewed by more than 24,000 citizens. The Storm Aware data set, which helps Missourians sign up for weather alert text messages to their cell phones, has been accessed more than 130,000 times. Those numbers show unmistakably that this is important information that the public is interested in and that the state is serving the public. I commend all the team members from DPS and OA for their truly innovative accomplishment, for their award and their outstanding service to the people of Missouri. And I invite you to look at the StormAware website at stormaware.mo.gov. At this time, I would like the award recipients from DPS and OA to please stand. Stephanie Bryan, Kelly Buffington, Steve Cusimano, Tim Daimler, Heather Dulce, Megan House, Joshin Lynn, Sam Minter, Mike O'Connell, Jonathan Stephens, and 2 of our team members who are not with us today, but were very important to the project, were Urina Kimchak and Joey Pate.
Director Lee, thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of OA and IPSDP, thank you very much.
The next award category is Technology and Government. This year's winner is the Emergency Action Planning for High Hazard Potential Dams in Missouri team, with team members representing the Department of Natural Resources and the Department of Public Safety. We congratulate the agency directors, Sarah Pauly and Jerry Lee. To tell us about the team's accomplishment and introduce the team members, please welcome Ryan Miller, Director of Water Resources in the Department of Natural Resources.
Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Miller, Director of Water Resources at Missouri Department of Natural Resources, and today I'm very pleased to introduce our project, Emergency Action Planning for High Hazard Potential Dams in Missouri. And this is truly a multi-agency effort, as you heard with representatives from Department of Public Safety, Missouri Department of Natural Resources, USDA, Natural Resources Conservation Service, and many other local agencies as well. So once again, thank you for all of your efforts. Reservoirs improve the quality of life in Missouri by providing citizens with flood protection, water supply, erosion control, and recreation. However, in the event of a dam failure, these reservoirs have the potential to cause significant loss of life and damage to property and infrastructure. The Department of Natural Resources is enhancing the safety of nearby residents by completing emergency action plans, or EAPs, for the 470 regulated high hazard potential dams in Missouri. An EAP is a written plan that provides guidance for evaluating dam safety emergencies and helps dam owners and emergency response officials make decisions during an emergency event. EAPs contain critical information such as emergency call lists and notification procedures, lists of downstream residents, structures, and infrastructure, flood inundation maps, and a list of resources available during the emergency event. A critical component of an EAP is a flood inundation map that depicts the downstream area of flooding, arrival time of the flood wave, and the locations of dwellings and infrastructure that would be impacted by a dam failure. Flood inundation maps are developed by utilizing high-resolution terrain data, called LIDAR, combined with advanced hydraulic modeling techniques. EAPs are presented to dam owners and county emergency management officials during regional workshops. Dam owners are educated about dam safety and the benefits of emergency planning. They then finalize the EAP in cooperation with their county emergency management director. Since September 2009, the department's Water Resources Center has partnered with dam owners and county emergency management officials to complete over 250 EAPs. These are great plans to have in place. Let's hope we never have to use them. And with that, I would now like to introduce the project team members. Steve Chevens, Rod Ellis, Paul Simon, Diane Vitello, Tammy Wilson, Cliff Bummer, Bob Clay, Glenn Lloyd, Ryan Stack, Matt Vitello, Kara Blevins, Michael Daniels, Terry Toller, and Michael Weller.
Governor, State of Missouri, thank you. Brian, thank you. Director Lee, you're going to need a chairs to get all your awards now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Kara, thanks for making this happen in order. Mike, thank you so much. Terry, good job. Thanks.
It's now my privilege to introduce our next and final winner. This team has the distinction of being the recipient of the Pinnacle Award, which is awarded at the discretion of the Governor's Award Selection Committee and recognizes one team whose commendable project exemplifies the spirit of the Governor's Award and rose to the top to set their project apart. This year's winner is the DM 3700 team with team members representing the Department of Mental Health and the Department of Social Services. We congratulate the agency directors, Dr. Keith Schaefer and Brian Kincaid. To tell us about the team's accomplishment and introduce the team members, please welcome Dr. Keith Schaefer, Director of the Department of Mental Health.
Thank you, Alan. I'd like to have Brian here as well because we were partners in this from the beginning and will continue to be in the process. If you have a mom or a dad or a son or a daughter or a brother or sister or a nephew or niece who has a serious mental health condition such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, major depression, it may surprise you a little bit to know that if they are typical of those Missourians who have those conditions, they will die a quarter century earlier than you and I and other people, other Missourians who do not have those conditions, at least 25 years earlier. It's true that some of these people will die from violence. They may have completed suicide, they may be involved in homicide or accidents or other such cases, but 8 out of 10 of them will die from the same diseases that killed you and me eventually. Heart disease, complications from diabetes, hypertension, COPD, and other chronic diseases of which we're all familiar. They will just contract those conditions and die from them much earlier than the average Missourian. That's because a majority of the people with serious mental illnesses will also have co-occurring chronic, life-threatening medical conditions that are the result of a combination of health risks and unhealthy lifestyles, including poor nutrition, smoking, lack of exercise, and the prescription of very powerful psychotropic drugs that have serious side effects, including weight gain, for example. The people in this DM 3700 project represent the most costly of the above populations based on their Medicaid healthcare costs. Each of the 1,300 people in this program who have been enrolled for more than a year has an average pre-program annual cost of $45,000. With a good case management provided through this program that focused both on their medical condition and the behavioral condition, that average cost has dropped more than $500 per month for each of these people who are enrolled, resulting in a $7.8 million annual savings in their first 12 months. When we enroll all 3,700 people who are in this category, we expect that number to almost triple. Now, it's important to remember that these savings are only proxy numbers for what really happens, which is better health outcomes and better quality of life for those people who are funded and participate in this program. And ultimately, we hope to be able to tell you that another important milestone, maybe the most critical, will be passed soon, that the people in this program will live longer and live lifespans closer to that of the average Missourian. If you have a family member afflicted with this combination of diseases, this project is very important to you. Your loved one will live longer, be healthier, and be happier. If you are fortunate enough not to have a family member afflicted by these diseases, this project is very important to you as well. It can reduce Missouri's healthcare costs significantly, and it's a far better way to manage your tax dollars. Brian and I are extremely proud of this program and its outcomes to date, and we're particularly proud of those pioneers that we will recognize today who have made this happen. Brian?
Just briefly, the Department of Social Services does value its very strong and long partnership with the Department of Mental Health. And it's in that partnership and this sincere and deep spirit of collaboration that the DM37 team accomplished these wonderful outcomes that Keith spoke about. Everyone knows the tremendous pressure that healthcare puts on our society, and it's only through the efforts of our departments combined that we begin to make true improvements, not just in terms of cost savings, but more importantly, as Dr. Schaefer mentioned, in improved health outcomes for those who we serve. I'm very proud of the Department of Mental Health staff who are being recognized today by the Office of Administration and the committee. Congratulations to them and to the other teams. Congratulations, and it's very proud as a state employee to see so many situations being recognized where the department hierarchies and the department boxes don't seem to get in the way of pursuing good business, good service to the people of our state. So congratulations to our team and to our friends at Mental Health.
And your team?
The Department of Social Services team members are Dr. Ian McCaslin. Would you stand up as I read your name? Rachel Glavin, Marga Helscher, Paul Stuvey, and David Johnson.
And on the Department of Mental Health team, we have Dr. Joe Parks, Tom Rehack, Clive Woodward, Rosie Anderson Harper, Brent McKinney, Tim Swinford, Allison Ashley, and Alan Flory.
Dr. Schaefer, on behalf of the state of Missouri and the governor, thank you very much for you. Director Kincaid, on behalf of the state of Missouri and the governor, thank you for your efforts. Thank you. Horace, thank you for your efforts.
Again, on behalf of the Office of Administration, I extend congratulations to each of the winning team members and agency directors for their outstanding accomplishments. Please let's again give them all a round of applause. Also, our thanks to Commissioner Nelson, the Governor's Award Selection Committee members, and department executives for being part of the award ceremony today. Most of all, I'd like to thank each winning team for their continued support and dedication in continuing to improve the quality of service in Missouri State government. You can take pride in knowing that you are making a difference. Thank you very much for your hard work and your dedication.